this year about 2,500 acres of green beans, snap beans. And we had about 400 to 500 acres of peas, butter beans, October beans. So I've grown this year right at 3,000 acres. Well, the green beans here do very well. Our soil is very good here. We have a lot of sand rock and rocky fields, but one of the main things that brought this industry, and it's been here since the early 60s, I think, when they started doing it here on a bigger basis. But the temperatures here during the summer, they get up in the 90s. But our temperatures at night are a lot of times in the high 60s, middle 70s, It's the climate that we have up here. And a lot of people that gets these beans from other states or where they go, they say, man, they've got a very good flavor. And a lot of people just knows the Tennessee beans, and the Tennessee beans is coming out here at Crossville, because there's not really many grown in any other area besides here on the fresh market scale is done here. But it's our climate that we have, and our rainfall is usually normal up here. The growing conditions are good. We actually start planting, which we call it up here off the mountain, on the mountain. Here in Crossville Plateau, we call it on the mountain. Because when we go to Cookeville or toward Kingston, we go off the mountain. And the elevation is about roughly, 1,000-foot difference. So we can go actually down off the mountain, we call it, about a month earlier or 3 weeks earlier and start planting there. And we usually start planting about the 10th of April. That's a guideline that we go by. And usually up here on the mountain, we can't plant till about the 5th, 10th of May. So we can get an early crop earlier down there, and then we can start a later crop, get a later crop down there too than here. But generally we start planting around April. It takes a green bean 55 to 60 days to mature. So usually 60 days in the early cold spring conditions, but then they'll start picking in 50, 52 days. So generally if you start planting April 10th, you'll be harvesting by June the 10th. And then we continue planting here as long as we can, then we'll go back for a double crop off the mountain, and then we will usually around the 20th of October. So we've got like 18 weeks or so of harvesting. I decided I want to put a new place in, and one that will just be my own here. So we bought this place 3 years ago and worked on it for like 2 years. And we opened it first year of business at Hughes Farms and Produce last June. Capacity of a day, ballpark 3,000 to 4,000 per day. And we usually run 6 days a week. Sometimes we'll run 7, depending on if the beans are coming in. But one day this past week, I ran 6,400. That was a pretty big day. And then yesterday we ran 3,200. Try to average, 3,500 or so per day. Yeah, during the peak time, starting here in June, we're working between 45 and 50 people here. We got another 25 that's in the field. What we try to do, anything that we pick today is brought in here, and we actually process it through here today, just a matter of hours after it's picked. Because that's actually the true life of the snap bean, is getting it into the packing house, getting it cool, getting it into the cooler. You can actually hold beans in here. I don't like to, but you can hold them for 5 to 6 days here before you ship them, but that's not a common practice. What I like to do is whatever I pick and pack today, I love to ship out that night. So the time it's picked to the time it's in a box, usually about 4 hours later. When it's picked, about 4 to 5 hours, I've already got that load packed. And a lot of times I'll have trucks that evening setting there to pick them up, and then they're delivered the next morning. So it can be as early as 36 hours, and the earliest would be 24 hours. So whenever I start packing them here to actually somebody gets them, usually 24 hours is the earliest anybody could actually get them. And the way you pack beans has changed too, we've got this facility set up to be food grade. Everything's real sanitary, all put up right. We're able to trace our products, from the field through to here to who we sell it to, And a lot of the beans that we sell are all fresh market. If you go to a grocery store, if you go through and pick up green beans, there's a good possibility I may have grown those or picked those. So a lot of the beans that are grown in this town, and just mine too, but they'll end up in Georgia, they'll end up in Florida, they'll end up in Texas, Ohio, Illinois, New York. Here before too long, New York and some of those states will be getting low or out of beans. So a lot of these later beans in Tennessee will be going back north. I am a green bean farmer, yeah. Only time when I was in grade school, and this was, second, third grade, I used to see tractors pass by. And I always thought, that'd be fun to be driving one of them big tractors. And never did I imagine that one of these days I would actually own tractors and get the opportunity to drive them and use them that way. So, life has its funny changes, how it turns around with that. But I enjoy what I do.